Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 7. Today, we will tell you about the describe the world of the play and the structure of drama. Let me introduce our group: Olivia Azara, Dewi Nurhaliza, Faizia Mutia Zahra, Koirunisa, and Kutsi Mulia Cakrabuana. So, this is table of content. It's describing the world of the play, the structure of drama, plot, story and plot, and change of structure.
In describing the world of the play, there are types of the play. On describing the world of the play, it's very important that we explain the kind of play because there are so many types of it. It must be getting much attention to the whole aspect from the beginning until the end. It also needs more deep understanding because it will determine the next part in correct way. In the type of the play, there is setting. Setting means describing the time and the location that the play takes. It also means the natural, manufactured, political, including everything that the characters know and own. The circumstances of setting can be classified into three variants: indoor, outdoor, and historical or cultural places. It is full of creating background and object to render ideas. Setting berarti mendeskripsikan waktu dan lokasi. Setting bisa dibagi menjadi 3, yaitu indoor, outdoor, dan tempat-tempat bersejarah. Setting dapat berguna untuk membuat background dalam suatu cerita. After then, there is theme. Theme is the central idea in the work of play. It included the meaning of the world of the play, ultimately the major concern, and thus the concern willing to work up rather than begin with. It's called as the groundwork because of its importance, its centrality, and its execution, and presented in general way. Theme merupakan sebuah pusat dari drama. Jadi, saat ingin membuat drama, kita harus membuat tema terlebih dahulu agar sebuah drama bisa berjalan dengan baik. Tema dapat berupa seperti bagaimana drama itu berjalan, bagaimana drama itu bercerita. Jadi, kesimpulannya, tema merupakan sebuah pusat dari drama. It's the central idea in the work of play.
In the type of the play, there is character, plot, sources, and style. The first one is character. Character are the people who act in the play. Without the character, there will not be action in the play and it is nonsense. Jadi, karakter ini merupakan sebuah pion atau peran. Jadi, peran penting ini adalah kesuksesan dalam drama. Jika tidak ada karakter, sebuah drama tidak akan berkesan. Next is a plot. A plot is the presentation of a brief synopsis of the major action of the drama in question, so that the character relationship will become clarified by reference to the main event of the play. Jadi dalam plot ini, sebuah karakter itu akan berhubungan. Dengan adanya plot, karakter akan hidup. Sources. The sources here refers to the reference of drama or play is created. Jadi sumber ini merupakan sebuah acuan untuk dibuatnya sebuah lakon atau karakter.
Style. The style here means the using of the playwright who uses the language style through the dialogue which spoken by the characters. Therefore, the style of language used can be different among the characters. If discussing about style is not only focusing on language but also about the diction, the use of figurative language.
Outstanding feature of the play. When there is the aspect of the play that is conspicuous in some sense, it is called as the outstanding feature of the play. And when there is the outstanding feature in the play, it should be highlighted in the beginning of definition of the play. Di dalam drama ada aspek permainan yang mencolok yang disebut sebagai outstanding feature of the play atau fitur luar biasa, dan fitur tersebut harus disorot di awal definisi drama. The structure of drama. First, the classical dramatic structure. There is rising action, climax, falling action, and catastrophe. First of all, rising action. What is rising action? Rising action is the entire first part of the play in which the forces creating conflict are delineated, enlarged, prepare for some disaster. Preceding the rising action, there is often what we simply call introduction or exposition, a short section directly in the beginning in which we are made acquainted with certain facts. There is also exciting action, is the few events or ideas which excite the play into motion. The other one is rising action, that is such a building wave which we know will reach a peak and prepare to crash on shore. Jadi, rising action adalah seluruh bagian pertama dari drama di mana kekuatan yang menciptakan konflik digambarkan, diperbesar, dan disiapkan untuk beberapa bencana. Hal ini biasanya berkaitan dengan peristiwa yang telah terjadi sebelum dimulainya waktu bermain. Misalnya ada karakter tertentu yang tergugah ketika mendengar laporan bahwa teman dekat atau kerabatnya telah dibunuh. Secondly, climax. Climax is the first major pause in the play occurs when the hero makes a decision or makes some all-important discovery about either himself or someone else in the play. The act, which interrupts everything else that is happening, is always referred to as climax. Jadi, klimaks di sini pada dasarnya adalah akhir dari aksi naik atau rising action. Karena ini merupakan titik balik utama dalam permainan. Di sini, pahlawan memiliki pengetahuan atau tekad. Misalnya, pahlawan bersumpah untuk membalas dendam setelah mendengar laporan. Thirdly, falling action. Following the climax and usually presenting the ways in which the hero is slowly overpowered and becomes increasingly helpless. Falling action biasanya menyuguhkan cara-cara di mana pahlawan perlahan-lahan dikuasai dan menjadi semakin tidak berdaya. Berkaitan dengan contoh klimaks dalam falling action, di sini pahlawan di jalan balas dendam tidak berhasil atau berhasil. Last, catastrophe. Catastrophe is the end of the action in the play. It is similar to the logical result of the rising and falling action. Katastrofi adalah akhir dari aksi dalam sebuah drama. Hal ini mirip dengan hasil logis dari aksi naik turun. Melanjutkan contoh falling action, di sini upaya pahlawan tidak bekerja seperti yang diharapkan, tetapi menyebabkan kematian sebagai hasil akhir. Next is plot. Plot is the central aspect of all drama. A plot presents incidents in which the opposing forces meet head-on until there is some sort of final resolution or catastrophe. Perhaps the most important aspect of plot is its relationships to character. Everything in the plot, that is, every incident, is introduced because of the particular feelings of a particular character at a particular time. Plot informs us as to what the characters are like. In discussing a plot, no matter for what ultimate purpose, it necessarily needs to pay attention to the fine points regarding to the various characters. Plot adalah aspek sentral dari semua drama. Pada dasarnya, ini adalah istilah lain dari struktur. Perbedaannya adalah ketika kita membahas plot. Kita kurang lebih berkomitmen untuk membahas segala sesuatu yang terjadi dalam drama. Mungkin aspek terpenting dari plot adalah hubungannya dengan karakter. Tidak ada dalam drama yang bukan merupakan produk dari motivasi karakter. Oleh karena itu, berbicara tentang struktur sebuah drama dalam hal perkembangan artistik dan hubungan bagian-bagian, itu juga perlu merujuk secara khusus pada plot, pada tindakan yang pada dasarnya menggambarkan karakter.
Story and plot. As with the study of narrative text, One can distinguish between story and plot in drama. Story addresses an assured chronological sequence of events, while plot refers to the way events are causally and logically connected. Plot refers to the actual logical arrangement of events and action used to explain why something happened, while story simply designs the keys of what happened in the chronological order. One might consider the distinction between story and plot futile at times because for most people's intuition a chronologically ordered presentation of events also implies a causal link among the presented events. Chronology will thus coincide with logical linearity, whichever way one wants to look at it. Plots can always be either linear or non-linear. Non-linear plots are more likely to confuse the audience and they appear more frequently in modern and contemporary drama, which often question ideas of logic and causality.
Change of structure. In the 19th century, largely because of the influence of Ibsen, the basic dramatic structure is divided into 6 terms. Those are exposition, exciting action, rising action, climax, falling action, and catastrophe. Artinya, perubahan struktur pada abad ke-19 sebagian besar karena pengaruh Ibsen. Apa itu atau siapa itu Ibsen? Dia adalah seorang dramatis dari Norwegia yang berpengaruh. Bernama lengkap Henrik Johan Ibsen. Ia berperan besar dalam perkembangan drama realistik dan dijuluki sebagai bapak drama modern. Nah, kalau kita balik lagi ke perubahan struktur, jadi struktur dramatik dasarnya dibagi menjadi 6 istilah, yaitu eksposisi, aksi yang menarik, aksi naik, klimaks, aksi turun, dan malapetaka atau musibah. Conclusion. The theory of dominance of dramatic structures is classically concerned with tragedy, because tragedy is related to drama as a binding bond. Drama is no longer attached to any formal presentation of actions, such as rising, climax, falling action, and doom. However, almost all plays still contain this various stage of development. The main difference is that part of the structural development is presented to the audience in a flashback manner and can generally follow the last time scheme. Teori dominasi struktur dramatis adalah tragedi klasik yang saling berkaitan. Kenapa? Karena tragedi itu berkaitan dengan drama sebagai ikatan yang mengikat. Pada umumnya, beberapa drama itu sudah tidak melekat lagi di setiap presentasi formal dalam tindakannya. Maksudnya, saat drama dipertunjukkan, ada beberapa tindakan atau aksi formal tambahan lain. Beberapa tindakan atau aksinya seperti naik, klimaks, aksi jatuh, dan ada malapetaka atau musibah, sama seperti change of structure sebelumnya. Namun, hampir semua drama masih mengandung berbagai tahap perkembangan ini. Perbedaan utamanya adalah bahwa bagian dari pembangunan struktural yang disampaikan kepada halayak dalam, seperti kilas balik, dan pada umumnya mengikuti skema di waktu terakhir.
So guys, that's all from our group. We have quote for you is this stage is not merely the meeting place of all the art, but is also the return of art to life by Oscar Wilde. So if you have a question, you can write down in comment section. Thank you.